Are you feeling like your confidence is a little shaken when you go to turn on the video camera? Well, I've got two ways for you that I'm going to share with you that you can use ChatGPT to help with your on camera or on video confidence. Now, these are really fun to do. And quite frankly, I don't know that a lot of people are actually thinking about this, especially if you're in direct sales or any type of sales. You can use ChatGPT to help you build your confidence. Now, some people might be weirded out with what I'm about to share with you, but the truth is, why? This is a really cool technology that you can use to really help you get better and build your confidence when it comes to working with prospects and also just in general, building that confidence, which is going to help you to show up on camera even better when you are doing a video. So let's talk about this. There are two ways you can do this. The first one is one of the key ways to really helping you grow and great ways to create content is to do interviews and ask questions. Podcasts are extremely powerful. So if you want to be able to show up on video and be confident, maybe you want to start doing some podcast episodes where you interview other people who are successful in your particular niche, in your particular company, whatever it may be. But if you're not quite ready to go down that road, you could use ChatGPT. Now, I don't know if you're aware of it, but ChatGPT has a voice button. If you see this little black button here, this is ChatGPT on my phone. This little black button is actually voice prompted. So you can actually have a conversation with ChatGPT and you could pretend that you are in an interview and you are going to ask a series of questions. So in other words, you can prompt ChatGPT to basically say, I want to do a mock interview with you where you are on my podcast or you're on my video. And I want you to practice going back and forth with me. And I'm going to ask you questions, you answer, and then I have to come up with the next question. So you can give this back and forth to ChatGPT. This will actually build your confidence. You don't even have to get on camera. You can use ChatGPT to do it. Okay. And this is a great way to do it. Now, remember, you have to set the tone for ChatGPT first. You've got to give it a prompt, and you can do that with a voice prompt as well. And set the tone, let them know what it's all about. Your name is, so give ChatGPT a name. Your name is Sam or Samantha, and you are an expert in video marketing, or you're an expert in health and wellness. And my goal is to interview you. And like I'm interviewing you on a video podcast, and your goal is to answer my questions. And then my goal is to be able to facilitate the dialogue between the two of us. Can you practice with me? And ChatGPT will go right into that. Okay. So this is one way that you can build your confidence before you even hit the record button. So if you're struggling with hitting record, if you're trying to come up with ideas, interviews are a great way to do it because you're not just doing it on your own. You're actually doing it with somebody there and you can feed off the energy. But if you really want to practice, do it with ChatGPT first, and then you can move out to reaching out to some of the people that you'd love to interview. Okay. So point number 2, let me give you the second way that you can build your on-camera confidence. And that is actually use ChatGPT as a way to role play with a prospect. So one of the ways that I think is really beneficial is if you can use ChatGPT to role play as a skeptical prospect. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do this with you right here on the video. And I want to show you exactly what you can do with this. Now, let's pretend you're in direct sales and you've just sent over your opportunity, video, or presentation to the prospect. And it doesn't matter. You could be in any niche. It doesn't have to be direct sales. It could just be maybe you're in sales or you're just in the business of working and directing and going back and forth with people. But let's use it in this sense in the direct sales network marketing niche. Okay. So what's going to happen is you open up ChatGPT and then we need to give ChatGPT the prompt. We need to let it know what we're going to do. Okay. So I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to play it with you and I'm going to prompt ChatGPT to be a skeptical prospect. All right, here we go. Hey, ChatGPT. Okay, so what I want you to do is play the role of a skeptical prospect. Your name is Samantha, and I have sent you over, you were open to looking at my presentation, and I sent you the link to my presentation. You viewed the presentation, but you're a little skeptical. So I'd like to have a role play back and forth with you and have you act like the skeptical prospect. And I have to move you to a point where you are more open or even to getting started. So are you ready to do that?
Absolutely. I'm ready to jump into character as Samantha. So, let's say I've watched your presentation and I'm a bit on the fence. So, go ahead and let's see if you can win me over.
All right, here we go. Hey, Samantha, I'm just following up with you. I know you watched the presentation. What were your thoughts? What did you like best?
Hey there. I did watch the presentation and I thought it was interesting, but I do have some concerns. I'm not sure if this is something that would really work for me. And I guess I'm just a little skeptical about the results.
Okay, you said you had some concerns. What were those concerns?
Well, one of my main concerns is whether or not I can realistically achieve the kind of results that were mentioned. I'm also not entirely sure if I have the time or the skills needed to make it work. So I guess I'm just curious how it would fit into my life.
Okay, I can definitely appreciate that. I think one of the things that you really have to evaluate first and foremost is what's important to you. What was it about it that made you think that maybe this would be something you'd have to dedicate a ton of time to? You can do this in your spare time. You know that.
Yeah, I do get that it can be done in spare time, but I guess I'm just thinking about how busy my schedule already is. And I don't want to start something that I can't fully commit to. But I do like the idea of it. So I'm just weighing everything out.
Okay, I can definitely appreciate that. That definitely makes sense. What is the obviously you're interested, you took a look at the video, but let me ask you this, like what was one of the main reasons that drove you to want to check out the video in the first place?
I was definitely curious about the possibility of having more flexibility and maybe some extra income. And I do like the idea of building something of my own. So that's definitely what caught my attention in the first place.
Okay, that makes sense. I appreciate that. If you were to build something of your own, what would be the main driver for that? Is it just you want more time, you want more freedom to go do the things that you want to do? Tell me a little bit more about that.
I think it's a mix of wanting more freedom and also the satisfaction of building something that's my own. And having that flexibility to spend more time on things that matter to me is definitely a big motivator.
Yeah, so it sounds like it's a time issue. You're looking to get some more time and have that flexibility, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Time is definitely one of the biggest factors for me. So anything that gives me more of that is always a plus.
Awesome. So, like, we were just talking and you were just wondering whether or not you have the time or not. I think that's a huge motivator that one of the reasons you may want to look at this deeper is so that you can create more time.
Yeah, that does make sense. The idea of creating more time for myself is definitely appealing. So I can see why it would be worth taking a closer look.
Okay, awesome. So, sounds like you're ready to get going. Would you like to get signed up? Are you ready to get signed up?
I think I'm almost there, but I do have just a couple more questions before I fully commit, if that's all right.
Sure. Which questions are those?
First, I'd love to know a bit more about the support system. Like, if I get started, what kind of guidance or community is available? And secondly, I'd love to hear a bit about success stories from people who were in a similar situation as me.
Okay, awesome. I can totally appreciate that. One of the things that we do have with our team is we have a Facebook group. So there's a awesome Facebook group of people who are just like you, who are driven, who want to know and understand and are building a business just like you. And one of the cool things that you can do with this Facebook group is anytime you've got questions, anytime you want to tap into community, it's always there and there'll always be somebody there pretty much 24/7 to answer questions because our group, there's a lot of people in there, it's a cool way for you to connect with others. Now, as far as like testimonials and things like that, I just want you to know like testimonials vary from person to person. Like one person can get great results on a product, another person might not have such great results. But the truth is, even with testimonials, you do have to be very careful on how you share testimonials because testimonials, we don't want to be deceptive in how we do that. So it's very important that I understand the reasoning why you want to know whether other people have been successful is because you want to know whether you can be successful or not as well. Am I correct? Because in the end, we do have to be very careful how we share that. But there have been many people that have been successful with this opportunity. The key is with it is that it's individual results, and individual results vary because nobody knows like the amount of work that you're going to do or your work ethic or what it might be. So does that make sense?
Yeah, that absolutely makes sense. I appreciate that transparency. It's definitely reassuring to know there's immunity for support and that results really depend on the individual. So, yeah, that definitely helps me get a clearer picture.
Okay, cool. So are you ready to get started?
I think I am. I'm excited to dive in and see where this journey takes me. So, let's go ahead and get started.
All right, cool. I'm going to send you the link right now. And so go over there and get signed up.
Sounds great. I'll keep an eye out for that link and I'm really looking forward to getting started. Thanks for all the info and encouragement.
You're welcome, Samantha. Have a great day. We'll talk soon.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful day, and I'm excited to get started. Talk to you soon.
There you go. So that's how you use ChatGPT to practice and role play. The very thing that's holding you back, that you don't feel like you have the confidence or you don't feel you have the practice, you got it right in your pocket. Like you now can go out there and start role playing. Now, did I answer all of those correctly? I don't know. Like, I just know that one of the things that I learned early on in my networking career and just in my career in general is that your goal is to always be asking questions to dive deeper. If you get asked a question, you should turn around and use another question to dive deeper. Now, it's not about manipulating people. It's about you are the one that holds the cards. You're the one that has the opportunity, and you're just trying to get to the heart of whether or not they're really interested or not. So use this as a great tool. Now, obviously, I used it in this sense to have somebody skeptical. But what I do know is that you could set this to be super skeptical. You could prompt ChatGPT to be less skeptical. You could set like that degree of skepticism, I think, in a big way, and that it could really help you with that. Okay. You could use this in all kinds of scenarios, but why I believe doing something like this can really help you is because when you show up on video, it's going to help your confidence. You cannot do this and not get more confident. The goal is learning to think on your feet. And the more you learn to think on your feet, the better you'll be because you can then share without any apprehension whatsoever. And that's what's going to make getting on video so much easier and so much better for you. So let me know if you got value from this. If you did, please do me a favor, comment below, let me know. And I also have something for you, which is I put together a PDF called 14 Conversation Starters. And this is something I've used for many years. It's got 14 questions on it that are questions that you can ask any prospect. It doesn't matter if it's in network marketing, sales, whatever. These questions really can help you to build some pretty awesome rapport pretty quickly. Now, these are just things that I've used over the years, but if you want access to that, just let me know down below or look below this video and we'll have the link there for you to go and you can get access to it. So I appreciate you. I hope you're having a great day and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.